Hi. We're really going to talk about eating in the evenings because I think it is an overlooked area, and I know for a fact that it's the area where we can, one, see the most significant improvement in weight loss, but it also has a huge impact just in our general health altogether. So what I think a lot of people don't realize is that there's actually healing that goes on in the body during the night while we're sleeping, that there literally is no medicine or treatment that can do that healing. So we often overlook the value of really good sleep. And I know that a lot of people have to resort to medicines and assistance for sleeping. And I think it's something that's worth looking into, but more than anything, improving your sleep is something that you just want to constantly be working on. So, there's a few things you can do, which is like improving your routine and your habits so that your body starts to think of those habits as, oh, it's time to get into sleep mode, because we tend to just go to bed and think that our body should fall asleep. But it's actually your body's looking for a routine and a pattern that signals that it's supposed to go to sleep. Typically that would be, the sun going down and the lights going off. But because of all the lighting, electricity, and blue screens that we have going on now, that doesn't happen in our bodies anymore. So we can translate that to our body in a little bit different way by doing the same things we do in the evening, stuff like stretching and yoga, calming drinks, sitting, relaxing, quiet environments, and then simply, preparing lunch for the next day, putting out your clothes, brushing your teeth, all those little habits. If you can constantly be working on those and repeating them, they will help your body realize and get into more of a sleep mode. But what we really want to talk about in addition to that is actually eating in the evening, because it's something that's significantly overlooked. And I think that people, there's been a lot of talk lately about intermittent fasting, and it does play on this concept a little bit. And intermittent fasting is basically where you go 12, 14, 16, 18 hours daily without eating. And the concept there is that it allows time for your body to regenerate. If you eat well in the other hours and you provide the minerals and nutrients that it needs throughout the day, but that our bodies are really looking for more of a break. So whether that is good or bad for you is not what we're here to talk about, but the same concept is really what's playing and going on when we're sleeping. But because of the lifestyles we lead, we actually don't give our body that opportunity when we're sleeping. So it's very common for us, later into the evening after supper, even right before bed, sometimes in the middle of the night, to snack and have little bits of food that is a bit of a routine and a habit for us. But I think we can't underestimate what that does to our body, because the basic thing is, if your body is looking for opportunity to heal during the evening, it's not being given it because it has to digest the food that you have taken in. And so it's using resources to do that versus the actual healing that it should be able to do, because it doesn't have to do digestion. It's asleep. It doesn't have to work on really any other programs or resources that your body's looking for. So not eating in the evening is crucial for that factor. But when we also eat in the evening, oftentimes our digestion is looking to slow down or almost halt. And when you're eating at that point, then your digestion isn't working efficiently, and you're not taking in the minerals and nutrients from those foods that you would normally anyway. But you're also really infringing on the value of your sleep, because if your body is trying to digest and is trying to do all these other things, with digestion being one of the factors, then it doesn't have the ability to sleep properly, heal properly, digest properly. And as a result, you don't take what you need from the food, you don't digest it properly, you retain calories, and you lose all the value of healing and sleep throughout the night. So it is worth it to spend some time working on your evening habits to try and reduce the eating and snacking that goes on. This is a really hard thing to do because it is a common habit. We tend to watch TV, that's where the commercials are, that, we see the snacking. We sort of actually have the time to slow down in the evening. And oftentimes, if we haven't got good minerals and nutrients throughout the day, your body will send you hunger signals because it's lacking in vitamins and minerals. So in order to accomplish this, you do have to spend a lot of time focusing on eating really well during the day, not focusing on what not to eat, just focusing on trying to make sure you're getting the minerals and nutrients that you need. And then a couple of things that you can do to help try to make the transition. One being, typically you want to try and strive for 3 hours before you go to bed of no more eating, which can be easy for a couple of nights, and then you might slip into old patterns. So I sometimes recommend that people actually, say you go to bed at 10, you want to stop eating at 7, you may actually force yourself to have something at 8 as a bit of a transition. So if you typically ate at 8:39, 9:30 before bed, even 10 o'clock, then maybe have a small snack at 8 and start to slowly transition yourself backwards toward the 3-hour mark. But if you try and do it cold turkey, you may find that it won't last over time. So you have to look at your existing habits when you eat and then maybe just back it up half an hour. But to do so, you may actually have to consciously force yourself to have a little snack. In order to do that at a time that's more desirable, because your craving may come a half an hour or an hour later. And then you have to think about what it is you want to eat. So hopefully you've noticed some of the items that may be hard on your digestion or gave you headaches, or some of the foods that you didn't work really well with. And actually people sometimes tend to go to these foods because they make them tired and more sedated or more lax. But if that's what's happening, then those foods are typically hard on your digestive system. So people often think of going to milk or dairies late in the evening, but it could be because that's making you feel tired and fatigued because the dairy's a little bit hard on you. So it's not necessarily the go-to for an evening snack. A lot of people want to do yogurt, but it has a lot of sugar in them. So you also have to be conscious of those kind of things. We can always revert to the applesauce snacks. And again, if you go to fruits, a little bit of fruit isn't bad because it's easily digested. Yes, it has some natural sugars in it, but fruit's very quickly digested. So if that's something that might work for you, you can consider it. Vegetables, raw vegetables are going to be, a quick kind of snack, but you may find that they're a little bit hard on your system or take a little bit longer to digest. So you have to really look at what's going to work for you. I highly recommend hot drinks like herbal teas, chaga type decaffeinated coffees that are natural coffees. Something that's kind of comforting and soothing can be a really good alternative. Lemon water is another one because it's also very detoxing during the evening. But you also have to be careful of, you don't want to disrupt your sleep by getting up in the middle of the night because you've had so much liquid. So you have to start to time those as well. But I think the big point here is to recognize that you're probably going to crave or want something. And so you're trying to plan ahead and make a better alternative that might soothe your craving or support what your body typically wants, but in a little better fashion. But I think it's really important that you recognize the value of not eating in the evening because it sets your body up for really good sleep. It sets your body up to detox all the toxins that it has acquired during the day through the night, heal your body, but you're also not taking in unnecessary, non-valued, non-digested calories during the evening, which serve absolutely no purpose or value to you. And then you wake up in the morning and then move on slowly into your morning routine and however you've decided that it's best to start and when to start eating in the morning. But you will recognize that you've given your body a really substantial amount of time to do all the normal natural processes that it needs. And I can promise you that even with weight loss, it'll be one of the most significant areas that you'll see improvement because those are just calories that are hanging on with absolutely no value. So good luck with this. It's a slow transition process. I find it to be one of the hardest times of day to have a good handle on your eating. So be gentle with yourself and know that it's going to take some time, and you're going to be dealing with typical habits and cravings that are hard to overcome. But even if you can move it back half an hour from eating when you typically would before bed, all of that are great improvements to helping your body do what it needs to do during the night.